If you've been doing some research, you probably have seen numerous reasons why you should move to Edgewater. The waterfront living, the amazing restaurants, so many different activities. But what you're probably not seeing a lot are the reasons why you shouldn't move to Edgewater. My name is Amit Bhuta. I'm part of the All in Miami group. We're a few different realtors that sell some of the most expensive homes and deal with some of the richest celebrities that you read about. In this video, we're gonna break it down into 5 different parts. The first part is the lifestyle. The second part, we're gonna list the pros and cons. Number 3 now is my favorite part. I think you'll find it your favorite as well. Number 4, if you move to Edgewater, we're gonna share with you what the future has in store. And number 5 are Amits ratings. I'm gonna share my rating on multiple different aspects of Edgewater so you can get a better idea if you should move here or not. So my perfect day at Edgewater, it's with my wife. We go there, we meet Jade on the team. Since she lives there, she knows everything about it. We're gonna skip the 12-mile run that Jade does every morning, and we're just gonna drive there. So Jade is gonna show us some of the luxury buildings in Edgewater. The funny thing is, Edgewater, growing up, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way, was like the ghetto. Some of the poorest neighborhoods in South Florida were in Edgewater, and now it's some of the most expensive real estate in South Florida. So while we're there, Jade is gonna take us to Margaret Pace Park. It's a tongue twister for me, but it's an incredible place. We're gonna see a lot of people jogging around in Edgewater. The thing I think about the most in Edgewater are dogs. Everyone loves their dogs, and it's so dog friendly. If you have really good eyesight or have binoculars, and you look a little bit further out, you're gonna see Pace Picnic Island. And what is that? It's pretty cool. If you have a boat and you decide to dock around there, you can just settle in there and eat. It's amazing. After that, we're gonna eat at Amara. And because the food is so good there, we're gonna go there for lunch and dinner. We're gonna go back after later in the day and have dinner there. So after we eat there, Jade is gonna show us all the hot spots in Edgewater. I'm 55, my wife is 7 years younger than me, so we're a bit out of it. Jade is under 30. That's sort of how the average person who lives in Edgewater is gonna be. And she knows what's going on. When Jade jogs, she looks at empty lots and tries to figure out what they're gonna build there. So she always knows what's going on. So after that, we're gonna go back to Amara, get some food, and then we're gonna drive home, and Jade is probably gonna jog home. So what's the community vibe in Edgewater? It's a bunch of young professionals that know the latest thing that's happening. So a lot of energy, a lot of money actually. They're called Henrys, high earners, not rich yet. So what does that mean? And it's in no way a degrading term. Sophie Bank created that term. It's for young professionals that have very high incomes, but they haven't been earning long enough. So they're not wealthy, so they're high earners, not rich yet. So they have all this disposable income that they can use, and they're looking to do whatever they can because they have a ton of money. A lot of them are single or they're couples and they're both making money. So that's the vibe you get, someone that really wants to enjoy life. Another thing that you do get though is with this community vibe, Edgewater is a transitional area. Like I mentioned before, growing up, it was like the ghetto. And now, even though there are ultra luxury properties, there are still homeless people, sadly, there. So if you're in the wrong part of the neighborhood, you're gonna feel a little bit unsafe. Edgewater is like a hidden gem. Most people don't know about it that tour Miami. But what Edgewater has is convenience. The location is so central to so many things. If you wanna get on a train, yep, there are trains in Miami. You're not that far from one. If you wanna just get to the Venetian Islands, South Beach, the airport, just so many different places in Miami, it's perfect. As far as things to do, there's so many things to do, which creates such a high energy in the neighborhood. It's so close to the design district. The design district, for those of you that don't know, it's like the Rodeo Drive of the South. The most expensive shops in the country and some in the world are in the design district. Some places, some ultra luxury fashion companies that want to move to the US go to the design district. They won't even be in Beverly Hills, they'll be in the design district. Another thing is you're really close to Wynwood. If you're just average like me and you want to feel cooler, go to Edgewater. You're gonna see all these murals done by street artists, and you're gonna find some of the best comfort food trucks, and everything else. Edgewater's location is incredible. So what are the pros and cons of living in Edgewater? There are so many pros. The dining scene is amazing. The activity going on, the energy. Another pro in Edgewater is the amazing waterfront luxury real estate. Developers have fallen in love with Edgewater. And because land used to be a little bit cheaper, way cheaper in the past, some of them have bought it from the past. And they're building the nicest buildings in South Florida. The views are amazing. There's no beach, but the views are incredible. And some of the most famous people in the world have bought in Edgewater because of that. There are a lot of cons though. I could go on with pros, but you probably know the pros already. As far as cons, what would stop you from living in Edgewater? The cost. It's very, very expensive. A lot of the condos that are being built are in these ultra luxury buildings, and the HOA fees are ridiculous. Thousands upon thousands of dollars a month. Your homeowner's insurance is gonna still be pretty high. Even though it's in a condo, you're probably still gonna get insurance and it's gonna be expensive. Parking sucks in Edgewater. You're gonna have to find a place to park before you go where you need to go. So you're gonna have to add additional time into your journey. Another thing is, since it's a transitional area, there's still homeless people around. And nothing against homeless, but you feel unsafe a lot of times. You're gonna have people sometimes when you're at a stop sign coming up to your car and asking you for money. It's okay to give them money, but it's also, you're still gonna be scared as well. The noise level is ridiculous many times. There's so much new construction. In a few years, probably not, but for now, you're hearing this ongoing construction all the time. Another thing is cannabis again. I don't smoke and I hate the smell of it. And there's a ton of smell in Edgewater. You can smell it every hour upon the hour. So there are quite a few things that make it tough to live in Edgewater. These are just a few. Hey Edgewater, are you watching this video? If you are, make sure to comment how long you've lived in Edgewater, and also tell us your pros and cons of living in Edgewater. And if you're thinking about moving to Edgewater, let us know what makes you most interested in it. And if you want, all of you, guess the famous DJ that we've done business with in the past. If you're looking to move to Edgewater to see a bunch of different architectural designs, you're not gonna see it. You're only gonna see modern, new construction, beautiful waterfront buildings. Yeah, you're gonna see older stuff from the past, but you're probably not going there to look for that. You're just gonna see nice, new, modern, clean properties that have amazing views. So how much does it cost to move to Edgewater? Since Edgewater is relatively small, there are less than 12,000 people that live in Edgewater, and it's only about 1.7 square miles. Edgewater doesn't really have a city name. So instead of trying to figure out everything with what properties are available, I'm gonna go by the zip code of Edgewater, which is 33137. And within this search, it's gonna give you a general idea if you wanna live close to Edgewater or actually in Edgewater. So while doing this search, there are 559 properties for sale. That's single family homes and condos. If I make it just single family homes, it's 49. And most of these single family homes, I'm gonna disqualify them because they're old lots that are close to Edgewater that aren't really in Edgewater. and they are just teardowns, so basically land. So let's go with the condos, because most people that are moving to Edgewater are looking for either a condo or a townhouse or villa. A villa, for most people in Miami, they consider that a one-story townhouse. Okay, so there are 510 properties for sale. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you the least expensive, the most expensive, and then about an average what you would pay. So out of the 559, let's start off with the least expensive. So the least expensive property in Edgewater is $285,000. Let's look into the details of this. This is in a place called Riviera Towers. It's 650 Northeast 25th Street. It's penthouse D73. Let's see what story it's on. There are 7 floors in the building. This is on the 7th floor. This is a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 728 square feet for $285,000. So not too bad. Let's see what the HOA fee is. It is $600 a month. Not too bad. And the photos. It's an older building built in 1974. It looks like it's older than that, but it's from 1974. If you've ever watched Dexter, this looks somewhat similar to his building, like that type of vibe. This property is actually updated, has nice tile floors, granite kitchen, updated meaning relatively updated, and not much of a view, but definitely a clean, nice home. And for $285,000 to get by Edgewater or in Edgewater is amazing, especially only paying $600 a month in the HOA fee. So let's take a look at the most expensive unit on Edgewater. Again, these are condos. So it goes up dramatically. So the most expensive one is, let's call it 10 million, 9.95 million. This is in a place called Biscayne Beach condo. This is on the 51st floor, so very high. It is built in 2017. Actually, Jade on our team lives very close to this property. It's 6-bedroom, 8 baths, crazy, 8 full baths. And it's 8,000 square feet. And it's a condo. It's huge. The views are absolutely amazing. But before we get into the views, let's check out the HOA fees. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's $10,385 a month to live in that association, in that building. So a lot of times, if you don't know, with these newer buildings, they do it price per square foot. And because it has so much square footage, that's why it cost what it cost. Such a beautiful place. The views in Edgewater, if you have a waterfront view, is amazing. Jade lives, I think, on the 40-something floor of her building. And every day on her Instagram, she's usually sharing the views because they're amazing. Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful condo. But it's 10 million. The kitchen is tiny though. Not good. Okay. Let us look at an average property in Edgewater. So if they're roughly 500 and something for sale, let's go to about number 280. So number 280, this is 121 Northeast 34th Street, unit 2609. It is Midtown, which is right by Edgewater. You'd pretty much consider it Edgewater. $739,000. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 972 square feet, built in 2018. It's the Hyde Midtown. This is a pretty cool place because you can do daily rentals or short-term rentals in this building. That usually means a high HOA. Let's see if I'm correct. Yeah, it's pretty high. So for a $700,000 property, your HOA is $1,450 a month. Very high. And let's take a look at the unit. It just looks average. But bottom line is, if you're thinking about moving to Edgewater, you're probably gonna have to spend at least $700,000 to get a decent place, and you're probably gonna pay roughly $1,000 a month or more on HOA fees. It's a nice property, but the $1,450 will disqualify a lot of people. If you like Edgewater and you want to see our insider's guide with all the top secrets on Edgewater, make sure to click on the link in the description. So what does the future of Edgewater have in store for you? It has a lot. I see very, very positive things happening in Edgewater. All this construction is going to stop. The noise level will be better. The transitional areas of Edgewater, sadly, these people are going to be moved out. The homeless are going to have to find another place. And I hate to say that, but the land is so cheap. It was so cheap. They were staying there, but now because it's gotten so expensive, people are selling. And you're going to see more and more new restaurants, new buildings. You're going to see a lot of stuff that other areas in prime Miami-Dade County have. So Edgewater is definitely going to go up a notch. You're going to feel more safe living in Edgewater. You're going to find people that are probably starting to get older living in Edgewater because they like Edgewater so much. And you're probably going to start seeing buildings with bigger units. Instead of maybe two bedrooms, they'll have 3 bedrooms. That happened in Brickell in the past, and I see that happening in Edgewater. So we come to the Amits Rating section. And I'm gonna give you my opinion on probably about 10 different things. Number 1, daily life and vibe. If I was about 25 years younger, it would definitely be a 10 out of 10. But for me now, as a 55-year-old, it's probably a 5. I don't wanna do so many things. I don't wanna worry about parking. I don't want to do things that make my life a little bit more difficult, meaning going to a new restaurant and waiting in line, putting my name down, hoping to get text, doing all those things. So for me, it's about a 5. Location and prestige. Probably a 6. The location is great because you have Margaret Pace Park. For me, always a tongue twister, but it's an amazing place. You have so much activity going on. You have so much wonderful waterfront real estate. And now, because if you're in the know, you know that Edgewater's cool. You know, people that are younger, making money. Before, like growing up, it was South Beach, then it was Brickell, then it was Wynwood, and now it's Edgewater, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right in that respect. So the prestige is pretty high. Waterfront living and views, 10 out of 10. Most of the properties in Edgewater have amazing views. Even if you're on a lower floor, you're gonna see some incredible views of Miami. And some of the real estate is still relatively cheap, so you can get some really nice views compared to other parts that have those same type of views for much less. Amenities and lifestyle. This is a 10. That's what Edgewater is all about, the lifestyle and the amenities. All these buildings have amazing amenities, and the lifestyle with Edgewater is great. There's so many different things to do, and if you have a dog, it's your dog's favorite place as well. Privacy and security, a 4. It's not that great for this. If you're at home and you live in one of these buildings that are relatively expensive, security's great. But if you're on the street and you're walking around this transitional neighborhood and you go in the wrong area, you may worry about your safety. It happens all the time in Edgewater. As the future happens, as things change, it's gonna be less and less, but for now, it's not that great. Architectural features. It's a 5. Everything looks the same. All these ultra luxury high-rise buildings. And yeah, there's a twist on some of them and things look a little bit different, but they're all modern. If you like anything else but modern, it's probably not the right place to go to unless you like older buildings. Community engagement and local interaction. A 5. People are doing their own thing. And yeah, if you're in the same, doing the same activities as them, maybe going to boot camp or doing some other type of activities, yeah, you're gonna have a good connection with them. But for the most part, people are doing things a million miles an hour and doing their own thing. Cost of living and real estate. 6.5. Some of the real estate is extremely expensive and some of it is relatively inexpensive. But for the most part, the HOA fees are very high. So it's affordable, but it's not extremely affordable. Definitely a good buy compared to some similar types of neighborhoods, but still sort of expensive. Green space and outdoor living, a 9. It's really good. So many parks, so many things to do, so many people doing activities. Edgewater is for active people. If you're not active, you're not going to enjoy Edgewater close to the person that is active. Climate resilience, a 5. Edgewater's by the water, so it's not great. If there's a hurricane coming, if there's flooding, yeah, you may be okay, but you may not be as well. So I would be careful if those are some of your concerns. So that gives us a total of 65.5 for Edgewater. So going back to the top, Pinecrest is in the lead with 82 points. Coral Gables has 74. Coconut Grove is 73. Then comes Edgewater again at 65.5. Brickell is next, just barely less at 65. Fisher Island is 64. South Beach is 64. Key Biscayne is 63. And South Miami still is at the bottom at 60 points. I've been going to Edgewater since before it was Edgewater. It seemed it was, not to say this in a bad way, it was the ghetto. You were scared to walk around there. And now it has some of the most expensive real estate around in Miami-Dade County. And if you don't mind walking just a little bit, you can go to Joe's Pizza NYC. It's amazing and at just walking distance from Edgewater. If you'd like to know much more about Edgewater, I think this particular category you may be most interested in, top 5 date spots, make sure to click on that link in the description. We spent 4 years researching everything.